I put up a post about Biden. They went crazy on me. Like, well, goddamn, do the research. The nigga did. Like, come on, man. Like, come on, man. This
Yeah, what'd you
nigga
say?
read a
What'd you say? What'd
eulogy.
you say?
Nigga read a eulogy at a KKK meeting. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck are you talking about? I mean, I don't care about who wins the presidency. It's not going to go our way anyway, no matter what. I can't say this. What's going on right now is the niggas I know where I'm from has seen more money ever during this presidency than they ever seen during any presidency in the history of presidents.
Welcome to Rare Nomads.
Rare Nomads.
The most irreverent and thought-provoking podcast that gives you a look into the lives and the minds of our culture's most interesting and inspirational people.
Hey, I go by Rap is a Martial Art. Jim, thank you so much, man. We're so honored to have you on this show, man.
I appreciate you for having me, man.
Yeah, what's up, brother? What's going on?
I'm in the house right now, chilling, getting high. I just finished mopping the basement up. What's up?
No, we just started. It's our first week starting this thing out, man. I had to get my brother on here first. You know that. What's up with you though? What's going on?
I've been chilling, trying to
stay. How that quarantine radio coming?
The quarantine studios is doing pretty good. It's dope. Actually, like the webpage with title is about to go up tomorrow for us, so that's gonna be pretty dope. It's moving real good, man. I mean, I figured out a dope way to do music in real time and don't have to leave my house, and something that the whole industry could benefit from. It's pretty much natural progression for the future. Like Beep is the iPhones. There ain't no way around it. You know what I mean? So just trying to stay on top of it so people don't try to
sabotage it. Take it.
Yank the rug from under me. So that's it.
Could you tell us how that came about and what the vision was behind Quarantine Studios a little bit?
When they shut everything down and they snatched all the back end money from all the artists, got to figure out ways to make money. I mean, I like to live good, and these are one of the things that I started doing as far as providing services for other artists and shit. Like, hold on, I'm turning this TV down. This is one of the things I started doing, like providing services for other artists, and then just happened to be in the right place at the right time and seeing something that I thought could work in a whole nother light and end up working for me big time. And then I added that to what I was doing. I made a shitload of money, and then started inviting other artists and DJs and producers to come aboard and see if I can help them make the money.
That was a hell of an idea. You don't get the credit you deserve with this shit, man. You're an entrepreneur for real, bro. You've been doing this shit 20-some years, nigga.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate that. Appreciate that.
I'll watch it first. Hey, what's up with the working out? You still doing it, right?
Yeah, I actually got a VanFit site that's about to go up where people could start to buy merch and workout equipment, and also be able to work do live workouts with me and shit like that. The whole shebang. So hopefully,
I gotta get in there with you. I did something earlier today, man. That shit fucked me up, man.
You gotta stay in, man. And movement is medicine. You gotta stay moving, man. You dig?
I've been trying to do some burpees. That ain't it.
Which burpees? Which ones? The ones with the deadlifts or just regular burpees?
I just been holding like the 20 pounds in my hand, drop it down, getting up, and
that's just crazy. I've been doing burpees with deadlifts from like starting at like 135 and then going up to like 285. So
that's crazy.
Do push-ups, then you jump from the push-up position into the deadlift position, back down to the push-up position. So I'll be doing that shit up to like 10.
So let me ask, Jim, what's the craziest workout you've ever done? What would you say is like nobody can hang with you, or you couldn't hang? Rather, the workout you did, you just couldn't survive.
He tough. Niggas can't hang with him. He tough.
I ain't gonna lie. There's a guy named Willie Fit in Miami. He was like one of the top players, I believe, on the Hurricane. Hurricane, one of the top football players. Supposed to have been in the NFL, but we all have a story. So he trains a lot of the high school athletes, and he also do private training. That's one of the toughest workouts that I ever get my ass into whenever I'm down there and shit like that. Like, it's way different. Also, boxing is different too. Shouts to Harold Calderon. I got a boxer I'm real cool with. He's champion, like 20-0 right now, 21-0 with training with him is tough also because you're moving so much. Boxing is like nothing else. There's so much cardio. So, you know.
That's on that point. So I'm a rapper and a martial artist, and I did martial arts a whole lot growing up. And so basically, just one of the things that you said, I would love for you to touch on this is, I think a lot of people underestimate the discipline that it takes to do the things that you've done and that you're doing. Like you working out, you know what I'm saying? You starting a bunch of businesses, you know what I mean? You're just not lounging. So could you touch? Yeah, could you touch on that? Because I think that's something that can get lost in our culture, the idea of like discipline.
You gotta learn to discipline yourself. I mean, there's certain disciplines that some people are more disciplined than others, but when it comes to certain things you want to attack in life, you got to be disciplined in some way. Like, you know what I mean? If it's a goal you want to reach, you know, in order to attack that goal, there's a certain amount of work that you got to put in to get there and shit like that. And for myself, all the things that I'm doing, I know that if I want to reach them, I got to really dig deep and get it done. It's not easy trying to do a bunch of things as an entrepreneur and trying to start businesses and then still get in the gym. Like, taking up brain space is just as physical as mental, you know what I mean? Like what people don't know. But for the most part, you got to find that discipline. Discipline is everything, like, you know what I mean? And even with martial arts and shit like that, when I was doing like kickboxing, I got like 2 belts in that shit. It just was like something you really had to zero in on. It was like nothing. It wasn't no space for anything else. Like how I'm in the gym and after my set, I could pick up the phone to see if I got a text or anything and shit like that. Like certain things you ain't got time for that, and martial arts is one of them. So I totally understand what you're talking about.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
You know, most people don't know the word kung fu actually isn't just the title of a martial art. It actually means mastery after hard work over a long period of time. So it's like somebody could see Jim's work ethic or like his businesses and be like, yo, you have good kung fu. Without ever throwing a kick, kung fu just means work ethic.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Hey Jim, what's your favorite city to go to, man?
My favorite city to go to? Oh man.
Wait, no.
I would say between Miami and Atlanta.
Miami and Atlanta. Yo, you know where I went, nigga, and I had the time of my life?
Where?
Indianapolis.
Indianapolis is a good city. But it's a bunch of dope cities. Like Chicago's a dope city. Indianapolis is a dope city. Kentucky's a dope city.
I never did Kentucky.
North Carolina, there's a bunch of dope cities in North Carolina. Charlotte, Durham. Like there's a lot of LA, West Coast, Cali. They got a bunch of dope cities in Cali, the whole West Coast. Like, you know what I mean? But I'm just saying that the ones that I'm more frequent and the ones that I had more fun in will probably be those two. Minnesota too. I ain't gonna lie. When I was young, coming up in this,
cold out there.
Minnesota is of Minnesota. It get cold like Minnesota. Cold like Minnesota.
What's your favorite international spot?
I did like a European tour. It was cool. I mean, I go to the Bahamas a lot. I'm like honorary citizen of the Bahamas. Bahamas is pretty dope and shit like that. Europe is dope too and shit like that. It's way more gray in Europe than it is on this side of the world. But you know, it's dope, especially when you're making it bag.
Yeah. You ever been to Haiti?
I haven't been to Haiti as yet, but I definitely have a lot of Haitian friends. Like a lot of Haitian friends. Like Miami.
Miami.
Whole Zoe Pounds and I have a lot of influential Haitian friends for the past 20 years of my life. They helped shape me in a lot of ways, and it came to
my career. Open Miami back up.
Yeah, we waiting for you in Haiti, Jim.
I soon come.
Yeah.
I was supposed to come a few times, man. Shouts to my brother Tifway. He's out there in Haiti now. Still out there. They had deported him some years back and things like that. As one of my closer friends and stuff like that. You know, so I get out there pretty soon. I see Kanye was out there doing some things. Shouts to my little man Zoe Dallas. Out there. I think he's building a house and doing some other things out there. You know what I mean?
Did they let Guy Fisher go today? Or that's a rumor?
Nah, they let him out. They let the big homie out. A real Harlem King is on the streets, man. What a story! What a story! Some of us keep it honorable and be able to come back and tell the truth. You know.
Is he from the Bronx or is he from Harlem?
He's from the Bronx, like I am, but he's a Harlem guard. Like
okay, I had to do my homework for
yeah, nah, he's definitely from the boogie. One of the illest dudes from New York City. Period, though. You know what I mean? When you think a little bit about his story and stuff like that, it's pretty dope. You know what I mean? I would love to see a story about his life, because the day that he got locked up like in '81 or something like that. But remember, he brought the Apollo and all of that type of shit. That was the council, man. Them niggas was the Bonds, Nicky Bonds, and all of them. They was raking in the millions back in the day. You dig? So, that's a story. That's a story that I would love to see, how people went crazy for the Frank Lucas story. I know they're gonna go way bonkers for the real story, a true champion story. You know what I mean?
That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. Now I was on 152nd the other day, and I seen somebody. I'll wait till I see you by yourself and tell you.
Nasty out there in Harlem, right?
Hopped out regular, walked. Yo, what's up? Kept it moving. I said, wow.
Like, listen, man.
Like, this. Just hey. I said, oh, it's different.
Listen, we'll
talk about it in person, though.
We're 12 face to face. You heard?
Yo, what's the craziest situation? Jim, how many kids do you have?
I got one son.
You got one son?
Pootie, shout out to Pootie, man.
What is it like for you, man? Like being a father, like how has that impacted your life and your outlook?
It's changed me a lot, especially as he got older. I started to worry about the things that I was doing in the street and how it will reflect when I got home, or how it will reflect on him when he's in school and shit like that. I started to be a lot conscious about it. A lot of the things I was doing, that he was able to understand what I was doing, and that helped me out a lot in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? And being a father is something that I'm joyed to be. Like, that's one of the best things in life that happened to me. And
I try to be the best or no? Father.
Huh?
He's still working out?
Well, this whole shit. He's supposed to play football, then COVID happened, and they was playing football. They wasn't playing football, so hopefully next season I'm gonna see what's up. But he still be getting his had a trainer come through, and he be working out with his trainer and shit. So
Yeah, I don't want to stop you. You was going somewhere with.
Just about being a parent. This is a great feeling, man. I grew up, but I didn't have my parents in my corner when I was growing up. They were young when they had me, so they were still intrigued by outside. They were still kids. They were kids having kids. But in turn, by me not having my parents there when I needed them to be, I made a promise to myself that whatever my son needs me for, whatever he does, I'm gonna support him. That's the whole shebang, and I've been doing a pretty good job, I think. You know what I mean? And it's not the easiest thing to be a parent, but it is the most rewarding. So
Yeah, definitely.
That's gem.
That for a while. Watch Pootie grow up on Instagram.
Yeah, and they get big as shit now. Tough too. So as they get older, they grow into their own individuals, and they gotta become their own person, and that's something that you gotta understand as a parent also, and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm learning now and shit like that. Is certain situations you gotta deal with a lot of things different. Like when it comes to disciplining your child when they get older, and 16 and 17 and 18, it's not the same as when they were 10, 11, and 12 and things like that. You gotta approach it with a different mind of respect for who they are and shit like that. Still be stern and still be, disciplined in your approach, but at the same time, it has to be a two-way street. You got to give them a lot more than they gave us, if that makes sense.
I'm still learning. My little niggas be bugging. I don't know how to discipline them. I punch him in his chest. They moms look at me like, yo, you can't. I'm like,
yeah, but for boys, you got to do that. You got to be hands-on with them.
Yo, my son called me the other day and told me I owed him some money. One of my homies gave me $200 to give him for his birthday, and told him, y'all. He said, I gave your pops $200 for you. I lost the $200 in the dice game. The nigga called me and said, yo, what's up with $200?
Yo, you is a funny nigga.
You take his money.
I gave it
I
to
was
him.
I was trying to double that thing up for you. What you talk about? We
Yo,
in this together, man. Fuck you mean? That was our money.
Yo, I forgot to text you. They got something going on in the Bronx in Gauchos. It's $5,000 to put up for a team, and you get back 50, but it's a 5-man. But you can get players from anywhere. It's 8 teams. You put up 5,000, you put your team in, and the winner get 50,000 at the end. But you can recruit from anywhere.
What is it? Full courts?
It's full court. It's in Gauchos. It's in Gauchos. Everybody got that pandemic money. It's going down.
When it start?
It's starting, I think, next Monday.
How many teams they got in? You know I'm about to call Twin, like, yo, Twin, I'll put the money up and you get the team.
18, I think it's 8 teams. The winning team get 50,000. Word.
Yo,
that's a good deal.
What's the most amount of money y'all lost gambling for?
Me?
Yeah. Both of y'all.
I lost so much money gambling. I stopped gambling cold turkey. I mean, I would say the last instance where I really, really, really stopped gambling had to be when Gato was still out, and I had a studio on 28th Street.
Gato shoot good,
and I was pretty slick on the dice for a whole month straight, 30 days straight. Gato beat me out like 2 stacks and better. I lost like 70 grand that month to that nigga. I stopped.
You're like, nah.
Yeah, I lost 14,000 a couple weeks ago. Nigga, I woke up the next morning just looking at the ceiling. I lost the 14,000, got in the car, and the gas light came on. I went to White Castles. I had $6 on my credit card. I just got me 2 cheeseburgers and went in the house. Man. Disgusting, nigga.
No, that dice game was crazy. That's why I had to stop. Like, I had a lot of furious battles of dice games in Harlem nights, 6, 7 in the morning, back hurting, sweating, trying to get the money back, win the money, lose it all the same day before you even leave out the spot. Like, yo, just nasty. Nasty. That
they got a spot called a bagel shop right now. They killing them. There'd be 200-300 in there at all times. That's the only place I'm going from now on.
Yo, Jim, what's the I was just thinking about this. What is the most impactful conversation you think you've had in your life?
The most impactful conversation?
Yeah. Is that the first time you got asked that question?
I don't know, man. I had a lot of good conversations in my life, but the most influential one, I don't know, man. I remember shit from when I was a baby, 6 and 7 years old, that stuck with me in life to now. But I don't know, but the most impactful conversations probably would have to be with my Uncle Clinton, God bless, before he passed away. He was like the father figure in my life as I was coming up through high school and all that and shit like that. So he had a lot of dope shit to say to me and kind of raised me as a man. And I used to, follow in his footsteps, just watching him and who he was and shit like that. But I would say Farrakhan had a good conversation with me. If you want to bring it up to speed, so who had a very impactful conversation, I would probably say like Farrakhan was pretty dope. That's who he is in the game that he gave me, and being very fair in the words he chose, and not taking sides or not taking prejudice towards any color or anything. Just real game and real facts. Even the things that I told him, and as I'm older now, I understand what he told me when I was younger and having little bits and rants about him in my music because I didn't know what he represented or who he was and things like that. And as you get older, you learn about different people. But what he did tell me was that he said things when he was younger that as he got older, he chose to have a different thought process on the things he was saying when he was younger. And just totally right. It's the same way I am now. Things I've did and things that I've said when I was younger, I won't say now and I won't do now. The same actions I did back then are not the actions I probably would do at this present day. It won't be beneficial to where I'm going in life.
How would you summarize the biggest gem from that we could take away from your most impactful conversation? What gem would you drop to the world from that impactful conversation?
My biggest impactful conversation is me having conversations with myself.
Oh,
That's
I
the
talk to
real.
myself a lot too.
It's about me just, just
The self-reflection.
understanding who I am and understanding where I'm at in life and understand what I could do in life. And that was from a young age. You dig? Like, I'm the person at the end of the day that got to make make those decisions for me to get here. No matter what anybody told me. Hey, those could just be words in my ear. The decision comes from me. And that comes from me having real talks with myself and who I want to be. And I think I'm pretty good at talking to myself. I think I talk myself into a pretty good lifestyle. You know what I mean? If you don't be real with yourself,
don't be real with nobody.
You can't be real with anything, anybody. And that's the fact of the matter. You know what I mean? People have a lot of great conversations, and most people that give you great game don't use that game for their own life.
Right.
You heard? Remember
Hypocrite.
that. Most people that give you good advice don't get a chance to use that same advice in their life. That's why they have so much good advice.
That was a jewel.
That's a bar.
We been getting jewels today, Philippe.
Getting nothing but bars today, bro. I said you bring in Jim Jones on, we gonna get some more bars.
Nick Cannon was on a rampage today, man.
Nick Cannon.
He was
on
dropping
a rampage
bar
for a whole hour. A rampage, bro.
I mean,
bar after
Nick
bar after bar.
Nick needs every outlet he could get right now. They're trying to blackball him.
Yeah, man. I think Oprah gonna pick him up though. I think Oprah was trying to pick him up.
We'll see.
Yeah, we will see.
We'll see.
Man, this shit is crazy. Yo, coming up, right? Well, shit, damn. Let me think, man. I can't ask Jim that. Hold on.
They said that nigga Fred might come home quietly. That's what Ant posted up the other day.
That'd be crazy.
That'd be retarded.
Scream Team.
The fuck?
They letting everybody out, man. I seen something that said BMO. I seen something that said X. I'm seeing all kind of shit right now. I don't know, man. I want to see Guy Fisher though. That'd be dope. That'd be real.
That'd be dope.
How old is he? Like 70?
You gotta be like 70 something.
Yo, to both of y'all, both gyms, what's with this whole COVID 2020 thing, man? How's it been for y'all, man? Like, what have you? So much has been going on. You know, Jim talked about self-reflection. Like, how has that impacted you guys personally, even spiritually? Like, how has this year impacted y'all?
Shit, it's impacted me in a lot of ways, and in a lot of good ways. You know what I mean? Like, I would think that all of this would hurt what I'm doing in a way, but it really made me dig deep and be more creative. And if I didn't get this chance, some of the things that I was able to do during this quarantine, I wouldn't have been able to do because I wouldn't have been thinking about trying to get shit like this done. So I'm very grateful for this time that I had, and I got closer to my family. They were able to see me a lot more just for us being locked down and shit. So that was also a bonus. So I took a lot of the good and I took a lot of the bad and turned it into the good, at least for me.
Yeah,
it's great
for me too.
Yeah,
it's been all right. Kept me in the house. It ain't helped me save no money though, because I end up being in the gambling spot. But
yeah, because you was making more money. That's why.
It's easier to save it.
Yeah. Nigga, it's easy to make the money. It's harder to keep it.
Yo, that shit be crazy, yo. I had my last 2,000. Like, man, once I get down to 500, I'm gonna walk away, and I still drop that shit on the floor. Daddy.
Fucking kill me and take me out of here right now.
Yo, you want to walk? No.
I'm out. Fuck this.
Yo, I know why I lost the other day. I was supposed to take my fucking son $30, and I ain't take it to him. I felt like he was praying.
Yeah.
I had just gave him 200. He spent the whole 200 on V-Bucks on the game. So I said I wasn't giving him nothing else. I should have took him that $30.
He spent 200 on a video game on PlayStation or something?
Buying the shit, like the guns and all the little stupid shit. 200. Nigga screen was cracked on his phone. He didn't even fix the phone. He spent it on V-Bucks. I said, your phone gonna stay cracked.
Wow.
Niggas is crazy, man.
Yeah, you said that's why like Jim, you said something, both of y'all said something that made me think. Jim, you talking about what you lost, and then we got two Jims, makes it difficult. But Jim, you was talking about earlier how you turned the bad into good. You talk about discipline. It makes me think a lot, whether it's music, rapping, or martial arts, whatever. One of the things I think a lot about is like we're kind of wired to go towards pleasure, right? Like everybody wants to go towards pleasure. And the more you go towards pleasure, it's like there's less rewards from pleasure a lot of times than there is from suffering. Like a lot of times when we talking to people, it's like, yo, what did you learn? People learn the most from suffering. You know what I'm saying? When you get in shape, you don't get in shape from, you know what I'm saying? You get in shape, you push up, you're doing all this suffering. You talking about being at home, you can't go out, you're getting benefits from your family. So how does suffering and being willing to suffer play a role? And you know, you're extremely successful, Jim. And like Jim's World said, my co-host said, like, you're a pioneer and you've changed culture, man. You've impacted culture. How has the willingness to go through suffering impacted that?
Shit. It ain't no rain without sunshine. It ain't no sunshine without rain. That's how it go where we come from. You heard? We saw the rain way before we saw the sunshine. You did? So that's something to look forward to. And that's just a metaphor for life and so forth and so on. Period. You dig? The pain is what fuels us. We wasn't born with a silver spoon in the mouth. You know what I mean? We had a plastic spoon. You dig? So
no silver.
Or no spoon.
Or no spoon at all.
No spoon.
How the weather thing going? It's going dope still? That shit.
Yeah, I shoot them every Thursday. I shot it earlier today for us. It's a weekend weather show, so I shoot it on Thursday. They put it on Friday for Friday through Sunday. It's real dope. And I got some real good ratings and shit like that. I think I like top ratings right now up at
that shit fire.
Don't quote me, but you know, something like that. I think you heard. So we doing pretty good. It's janking. You dig? It's a good life for me. Trying to switch it up, use my personality a lot more. You know what I mean?
Yo, you ever thought about a podcast or no?
The podcast is cool, but I don't know if it's exactly for me. I need something that really fuels me a little bit more. Unless there's a format of a podcast that I really get into and shit like that, then you know what I mean? Like I don't talk too much, but I'm a heavy debater, especially when you dig. I know I'm a smart person, and sometimes that shit kind of fucks a lot of shit up for me to be trying to be too smart. So I gotta be dumb out here a lot of the times and shit like that. You know what
that's
I mean?
A spot to be too smart though. A podcast.
Yeah,
debating people on a podcast. That people like that. So
yeah, my debates be a little bit different, man. Just like even with this, with
Jim debates get physical.
With the presidency, like
right.
Just the whole shit, like people talking about all this voting and shit. It's like I don't really care about both sides. I'm a diplomat. I don't really know about Republican or Democrat, but I know that it's a shit show. You know what I mean? So, and I'll be trying not to mention too much, but we could read the lines down on both sides, man. It ain't really. We don't have the best of choices and shit like that. You know what I mean? So where do you go from there? You heard?
Jim Jones for president? Is that what we're hearing?
Shit, not at all. Not
at all.
You running against Jay?
Not at fucking all.
Oh.
I heard the furthest thing I might do is like run for a congressman of Harlem and shit like that. That might be something.
You get that. You get that.
We heard this here. We heard that here.
You get that easily.
That'd be something I might do because I know what we need and I know what we want. I know what we've been through. I know where we should go. You know what I mean? Like I'm a people's person and shit like that, and I ain't gonna stop. But I'm not no politician at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you pumping that? Hell yeah, I believe it. Yo, who's your favorite unsigned artist right now?
My favorite unsigned artist right now?
Yeah, like somebody that ain't got no deal, but they fire.
Yeah, it's a lot of I deal with a lot of unsigned artists. Like, shit. I ain't gonna front. There's a lot. Like you got Daz, you got Salah, you got Flea, you got Dub. It's a lot of artists that I deal with that really are pretty dope and shit like that. But an artist that I'm about to do some music with and help him with his stuff. His name is Solid Baby from the West Coast. We about to put a record out called Problems. The kid is definitely a problem when it comes to music, especially. I mean, I think that in the West Coast and shit like that, he might go over pretty good and shit like that for the type of music and the type of energy he's putting out there. So, you know, I'm pretty excited to be working with him and shit like that. And then there's a whole slew of artists that I've been working with that I've been helping them put their projects out and shit like that. So, you know, it's a lot of work that I'm doing and shit like that. So it's not like no real one artist I could per se just pinpoint and shit like that. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of dope young artists out there, period. You know what I mean? Even young artists that I would like to work with. So I'm watching the game with a third eye. You heard? Pause.
You always was good at that. That's why I asked. As I say, yeah,
Yo,
Jim always know how to find some talent, man.
Let me ask you this: with all the rappers that you mentioned, what's the difference between the rappers that you like and the rappers that you sign?
What's the difference between the rappers that I like and the rappers that I sign?
Yeah.
Shit, I only sign the rappers that I like.
So, but you mentioned a bunch of them, right? But you ain't signing all of them, right?
All of those people that I mentioned, I'm actually doing work with.
Okay.
And there's a whole slew more. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of artists that I'm actually in tune with and I'm working with through Quarantine Studios. And every night that we be on the studio and inside the studio and in the virtual studios, like 20 of us, producers, artists, all the same and shit like that. Like, it's like 8 artists from Harlem alone. I'm working with like 4 artists from the Bronx, a couple artists from Brooklyn, a couple artists from Miami, a couple artists from Atlanta, LA artists, Chicago artists, and I mean these are the artists that I'm working with and shit like that. You know what I mean? So keep in mind, Quarantine Studios is a platform that we are providing for independent artists and major artists and new artists all the same and shit like that. It's a place for artists to live and for people that want to render services from these artists and for anything from the record labels. They can do it here, and they can also record in real time and not have to leave the screen and really do business with other artists. So we provide
That's crazy.
A lot more.
That idea is crazy.
That's crazy. Yo, Jim said you was looking for other business partners in Quarantine Studio.
I know I say that shit.
Yeah, he said that's what he told me. He said, Philippe, man, as soon as we get on with Jim, you got to ask him to let us be partners in Quarantine Studio.
Jim know me 15 years. He know I ain't say that shit.
Yes, dope,
that was part of the plan too. He said he won't believe me when you say that, bro. So
I gotta get Corey on that shit, believe it or not. Like next time he in the studio, I don't know if he got that shit in his house, but next time he in the studio, you gotta let me know so you show him how we can do some work while I'm in the house and all that.
Yeah, he been recording a lot too. He been recording a whole lot. He been over there Showbiz and AG joint. They got a fire joint in the Bronx. So
that's what I'm saying. Whenever he go over there, I can show his engineer what to do and we could tap in virtually just like we in the studio together.
All right, I'll definitely tell him. Yo, what's up with the Kid Cello, man? That joint you did with him that night was crazy.
Who's Kid Cello?
Cello from Queens. He came in with Trav and them. The night me and Corey came in the studio with you.
That was Slow Man. I don't even know what Slow been doing with him and shit like that.
That nigga retarded.
Yo, I got a question for you, man, as we kind of wind down too, man. Shoot,
I look good in this little camera.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, man, what would you say, man, is we try to go all over the map on this show, man, as far as we can, man. So what is for you, man, the biggest kind of, would you say the biggest spiritual struggle that you think you've had? Just living through life, getting older. I'm a lot younger, but even getting older, seeing COVID, losing a bunch of loved ones, you know what I'm saying? A bunch of tragedy. It's like, I know life is short. You know what I'm saying? Life is short, and I don't know whether I'm going to be here for another hour or if I'm going to be here for another 50 years. So for you, man, what's the biggest spiritual struggle when it comes to that? Some people don't like to think about that stuff, but it's just real. So
yeah, I'm one of them people that don't like to think about it because I know we all got to go through it, and there's no way around death. So I'll be trying to live as much as I can, but I know sooner or later, even the people that surround me, even the loved ones that are loved close to me, they might not be here, or I might not be here. So, you know, we all go through think about that. So in the meantime, I just try to work and live life as much as I can. It's death gonna come. So why would I sit here and think about it?
Oh, you know, the wild thing, me and Jim talk about this, and anytime you think it's getting too spiritual, you can stop me. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I like to think that way. And for me, it's just like a human conversation. Like you said, we all human and we can't avoid death. But sometimes when I talk to people, we talking about death. I'm like, I tell people, what if I told you were driving down the street and at the end of the street, you know what I'm saying, there's just a bunch of people, there's like a gang and they're just shooting everybody that's coming down the street. And then the person said to me, you know, I'm gonna think about it when I get there. Well, I'm not gonna think about it. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, when I think about death, it's like, yo, it's for sure gonna come. And there's so many spiritual claims out there. It's like, if there was a way, you know what I'm saying? Like if there was a way, you know, life after death or whatever, like I feel like that's the one thing I would want to know for sure, because it's the one thing that's coming. You know what I mean? It's like I'm driving down the street, that joint is coming. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, do we want to wait till we get there to find out, or is that something that we should think about ahead of time? Like, yo,
You gotta know that you gotta know the difference between faith and fate. You heard?
Bars.
It's just like that. If you have faith in God, then you know what's going to happen when God comes to get you or he calls your number.
Yeah.
Fate is going to happen.
Yeah, fate's going to happen. Absolutely.
I hate thinking about death and talking about death too, man.
Me too. That's why I keep my faith strong and I think about living. Because when God comes, it's supposed to be a beautiful thing.
Yeah, do you believe in karma or no?
Oh, I'm a heavy believer in karma.
Yeah.
I'm still probably getting up some bits of some bad karma that I put out there from when I was younger, but for the most part, I've been putting out a lot of good karma, so it's been coming back tenfold. You know what I mean? Every now and then, I get repaid back for some of this bullshit I've done in my time. Yes.
Yeah. On that note, man, I was just like real talk. You know, me and Jim, we've been talking about this. Like, one of the biggest things for me is growing up around all types of spiritual stuff. Most people kind of have this concept where it's like, yo, as long as I do good, I'll be straight. You know what I mean? Whatever happens. And for me, you know, one of the things that was really impactful, and the only reason I share this is because, like, man, you know, I got love for people in my heart. And at the end of the day, I think the most loving thing that we could do is share whatever's transformational in our life. You know what I'm saying? Whatever, like you was talking about discipline, different things like that. Biggest thing I could say, the quickest way I could say it like this is, my thought is this, is like, the definition of love has everything to do with faith, everything to do with life. Like you were talking about your son and how that impacted you. That's love, that transformational kind of love and that responsibility. And so for me, it's like, I say this, anybody can say that they love you. You can have any spiritual path and everybody can say God is love, God is love. And you'd be like, yo, how do you know God loves you? And people be like, yo, I'm blessed. I'm like, yeah, but you experienced a lot of curses too. So what does that mean? So one of the things is like, if you have if you're going out with 5 friends, somebody shoots at you, one of your friends jumps in front of the bullet, right? Which one of your friends would you assume loves you the most?
See, let me tell you something. You can't mix love and life, because somebody loves you to death don't mean that they would die for you. You heard? Remember that. You dig? And when it comes to God,
I gotta write that down.
When it comes to God, being good and good enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he don't judge. He doesn't judge you on what's right or what's wrong. He judges you on what's righteous.
Yeah,
you heard?
Absolutely.
You could be right all day, but that don't mean
it's
righteous.
But
that's the best answer you got, Philippe, to that question out of everybody.
Also, that's the best answer, and also it's the most impactful, because one of the things that you said, Jim, is like, when I die right now in front of God, the bottom line is this: I could think I'm as righteous as I want, but the bottom line is I'm not God's righteousness. God don't think I'm righteous. God knows everything I've done. And so one of the things that the reason why I brought the death thing is, you're right. Somebody could love you, maybe not die for you. They might be a coward, whatever. But to me, the most impactful thing that I've heard spiritually is not so much the concept of God, like do a bunch of good things and hopefully you get up here. The most impactful thing that I've heard is the fact that there's a claim out there that there's a God of the universe who designed you, loves you. Like you said, you can't be righteous enough, but he said, yo, I'm gonna take the bullet for you. I'm gonna take the bullet for you. Like that's crazy. Like the idea that, you know, there's a scripture that says the wages of sin is death. It's like, I'm not righteous enough. I don't deserve to go to heaven. I deserve death. I deserve spiritual death. But the very concept that there's a God who would be like, I love you enough, even though you're wrong, I'm gonna come down and take a bullet for you, for me is mind blowing. And then it says the gift of God is eternal life in Christ Jesus. So like you said, Jim, it's like, if I'm not righteous enough, all this good stuff that I'm doing, like you said, that's not really gonna do anything. But the claim to me that there's a God who loves you enough to take a bullet for you, that's always been the most mind blowing. That Jesus on the cross thing, even though I rejected it growing up, I was like, yo, that's the most dopest thing I ever heard. It's like, I could tell you I love you all day. But if somebody's willing to sacrifice for you, it's really
I don't even like people that tell me they love me.
And that's
Let me tell you something. Sacrifice is not about love. If the sacrifice have to happen, it's about being righteous.
yeah, but I'm guessing though. I feel you, but I'm guessing
love
that
has
you
a lot to do with life. But remember, there's a lot of people that God loves. He loves everybody.
Right.
Sent his only son here to earth to forgive us for our own sin.
But to die, right?
He had to do the righteous thing for us.
Yeah.
He had to live. He had to live and die by example.
Right. Absolutely. But to your point though. To your point, I'm actually vibing. I'm vibing with what Jim is saying, but to the point that the mind-blowing part is like, I think about scriptures, God is love, and this is love. While you were sinners, Christ died for you. So he directly ties the sacrifice of love. He's like, yo, anybody could say that they love you. Anybody, it's like, I guarantee you right now, somebody pulls up on Jim's son, Jim's not going to hesitate to take a bullet for him. Not hesitate.
That's my son, nigga.
Yeah, but what is that? That's righteousness, but that's also love. Like, I'm gonna do something for you, Jim, a lot quicker than I'm gonna do something for a stranger.
That's love, but there's a lot of parents that might not feel like that, bro.
You're right. It's love and righteousness.
Let's put that all in perspective, bro. Like this, a lot of people that will love they children, but they might not be.
But they're not righteous.
Have the courage.
You're right.
Enough to say they're gonna die for their
absolutely, and that's what
does that make them any less of a parent?
Nah, but man, I'm gonna just because that's what differentiates. Like you said, God is perfectly righteous and perfectly loving. But the thing that mind blows me is this: is like it says the gift of God is eternal life in Christ Jesus. The thing that's crazy for me is like it's not just belief, like you saying, Jim. It's like actually. For me, the mind-blowing part is I see so many people that believe it's like turning away from my sin. It's like me saying, and we all do this, it's like, I love you, but I'm not willing to do what it takes to show you that I love you. You know, I think about
a lot of people not.
If you can't say that neither, because if you're saying, I gotta die for somebody to show them that I love you, then shit, how am I showing you? I'm not even gonna be able to, you understand what I'm saying? So
yeah.
we gotta figure out how we're gonna articulate what you're trying to say. That yes, there are some people that love strong enough that they're willing to sacrifice their life for someone else. Yeah. Is that realistic?
Well, but you know what? It might not be your life, Jim, but you know what? It might be your time though. It's your life in a different way. It might not be literal, but it's like, yo, I got work to do. Jim needs help. I'm gonna sacrifice my time to go help him.
We all got a time. We don't know when that time is. And you might think you never sacrifice yourself for somebody. Shit, you might sacrifice yourself for somebody inadvertently and didn't know you was doing that. Like, it's just so many scenarios that you could put. But one thing I can't say about love is dangerous. You dig? Because there's a lot of type of love. You dig? And then there's a lot of love that can turn bad. So love is one of the illest emotions that we ever will go through.
The most powerful.
You dig? And the most powerful. But when you love the God Almighty, when you love him deeply, you're good. You covered. He covers you from the crown of your head to the sole of your feet. You dig? He gonna forgive you for your sins. You dig? No matter what it is. no matter what it is you do. And every day you get another chance that he wakes you up, you get another chance to walk in his footsteps and live like he lived, or get closer to living like he did. And that's what I think about every day when I get to go to sleep and I say my prayers and shit like that. If you wake me up tomorrow, I got another day to try to live better than I lived yesterday. You did? So that's how I think it.
Yeah, that's huge, bro. That's huge, man.
Y'all got too spiritual on me. I'm with this, man.
Jim got more spiritual than me.
No, he's a debater. That's why.
Yeah, he's debating.
He's a debater. That's why.
It wasn't even debate. It really wasn't a debate because I agree with everything he's saying. It's really semantics.
I grew up in a church. And I went to Catholic school, so a lot of my life dealt with a lot of religion, from spiritual aspect to the educational aspect. For me, growing up in the household that was fully vested inside of going to church and make sure that we understand what the love of the Lord is. So end up being a Catholic school for my whole schooling and shit like that. You know what I mean? So I got it from both perspectives and two different type of religions, from a Pentecostal background inside my household, which is more like a Baptist type of feeling, and from a Catholic to, you know what I mean? Going to Catholic mass and churches and shit like that when you in Catholic school and shit like that. So, you know, when it comes to religion, I know I'm pretty versed in it a little bit. I know a little bit about it.
Man, when we getting our one-on-one again, man?
Man, I ain't played ball in a minute. Last time I played ball, big nigga like 6'9", fell on my shoulder, dislocated my shoulder. Word.
We had a good game though. That was a good game.
We had a good game. I
wasn't mad at
that. Good old days.
We did that in Miami at the Hit Factory in front of everybody. Wayne, baby, Mac everybody.
You fucked up because I was abusing Mac Main. You trying to come over there and save Mac Main. I was abusing Mac out there.
Y'all got that on video?
Huh?
Nah, got that on video?
Nah, that was old school. That was like the first time I met Jim, and it's crazy because Jim and one of my best friends is him and Jim are best friends. You dig? But that was the first time that I had met Jim. Like, that was just crazy. You know, so it show you how small the world is and shit like that.
Yo, I heard Jim can't ball at all. Is that true?
Nah, I'll give Jim his proper. Jim get busy. I won't lie. I put Jim up for one.
Come on,
when I get back, I gotta give you that shit so you can see that tournament, because you definitely win that 50. Because it's dope.
All I'm gonna do is go get Twin. Twin gonna put the most 5 vicious niggas on the team, and you know that.
Yo, it's in Gauchos too. It's gonna be. I think it's every Sunday they play, but I know it's 50,000.
I don't think I'll probably come to one game. Gaucho's gonna be too nasty. It's a lot of them little niggas going through a lot in them areas, bro. I ain't got time for it.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
Disgusting, right?
Yeah,
you know I'm here.
I stay away from. Yo, if a nigga ain't got no kids and they ain't at least 30, I stay away from them. Some little niggas is disgusting.
And they ain't like us, bro. They way different.
Yeah, man. I'm cool on it, man. Yo, what's the first city you going to when this COVID thing is over?
The what?
What's the first city you going to when the COVID is over?
I don't even know, man. I don't even know what the fuck I'm gonna do when COVID is over. I know I'm about to go on vacation in like a couple weeks. Me and Chrissy about to get a jet and go somewhere hot for like 5 days. Fuck that.
That's what I gotta do. Man. But shit, wrapping it up, Philippe. You got anything else you want to ask him?
Nah, man. Just we appreciate you, man. Real talk. The time that you gave, all the gems you dropped, what you're doing for the culture, man. We appreciate you, man. We really do.
Definitely appreciate you. I know you don't do this for everybody. I said I gotta get my bro up here, man. Bro don't do no interviews. He don't do nothing. He say, yo, just call me. I said, all right.
No, I don't give niggas interviews and shit like that. I don't really care about none of that. My shit, because my shit, I know I'm gonna say some shit that they ain't ready for. They don't know how to take it. They don't know how to analyze it. So I just be like, you know what? I gotta shut up sometimes. I'll be way over these niggas' head, and then they be tired, man. You dig? I put up a post about Biden. They went crazy on me. Like, well, goddamn, do the research. The nigga did. Like, come on, man. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, what'd you say?
Nigga read a eulogy at a KKK meeting. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck are you talking about? I mean, I don't care about who wins the presidency. It's not going to go our way anyway, no matter what. I can't say this. What's going on right now is the niggas I know where I'm from has seen more money ever during this presidency than they ever seen during any presidency in the history of presidents.
That's big. That's big. That's huge.
That's a pause again.
And I'm gonna tell you something else. I'm gonna say some other shit. And I don't care about. Listen to me. I don't care about who win the presidency, but I just care about shit that's common sense to people.
You care about the truth.
You dig? So everybody wants Democrats to win. Cool. I'm with that. I'm with that. I'm from the hood. However that goes. You dig? And I don't really care about Republicans and none. I do care about common sense. So
right.
Would you follow a nigga that telling you to pay more taxes than you used to paying, or follow a nigga that's showing you how to get away without paying taxes?
I'm following a nigga that's letting me get away.
I'm just saying.
Right.
I'm just saying. Common sense as a businessman. Is anybody to make $1? Even people that get taxed every week on their check, like, yo, bro, why they keep taking all these taxes out my check and go crazy during tax refund time to try to claim 19 kids so they could get back as much as money they can on their tax? Like, so that's what I'm just saying. Like, I be looking at that. Like, I don't really care about who wins. I'm going for get my money regardless, because that's the only thing that's gonna keep you afloat in this world. It ain't the presidents. We seen that. You dig? Like, it's not happening, or it's not gonna happen. We're not going to see a change during the lifetime that we here. That I don't think. You dig? I don't think that in 4 years anything drastic is going to change anyway.
Right.
You heard? Well, what did happen drastically changed during this pandemic is I know a lot of niggas running around with that bag. You heard?
Niggas I was teasing is flashing on me now. Little niggas that I wouldn't even give a bet to in the dice game, backing out. I say, yeah. Trump.
Nigga don't even know what to say. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, people think, oh, I'm advocating for Trump. No, I'm not doing anything. I just want y'all to see the truth and what's going on out here for the people that we dealing with. Like, you dig? And you know, 9 times out of 10 the niggas we dealing with getting that bag ain't gonna go vote anyway for none of them. They got the bag. Like, fuck the voting. I got the bag, nigga. What you heard? Is there a bag over there at the vote? It ain't no bag there. I ain't pulling up.
Yo, man, this was dope. Especially, I wish you would have a podcast, man, because we live in
he too uncut for it, though.
Yeah, that's what you need, because we live in a culture right now.
And he don't like a lot of people. It's gonna be rough.
Well, Charlemagne made a career out of that, but we live in a culture right now where it's like, it's not censorship, it's peer pressure censorship. And if you censor somebody's words, then you censor their thoughts. That's how you control people. So the fact that you can't post something about Biden without everybody going crazy, that's how the government starts to control your mind. Like, you can't say nothing. That's how the Holocaust happens. Like, you're not allowed to think.
No, I'm always going to speak the truth, whether they want to hear it or they don't want to hear it. Somebody eventually got to say it. I mean, it depends on how you say it or how you give it to people, but I'm always going to let them know a little bit. You dig? Like, we in a fucked up situation, man. You heard? There's no way around it. You dig? We sitting on the toilet. It's going to be shit everywhere. You dig? Like, it ain't no way about it. Pick your toilet, man.
I'm gonna be back in town on Saturday, man. We gotta get in the gym, man.
We appreciate you, man. Thank you for the time on Rare Nomads.
Thank you,
man.
brother.
Please,
all right, bro.
Wait, Jim, let them know where to find you. I mean, everybody knows where to find you, but let them know just in case.
Jim Jones Capo, those are all my social handles. Pull up, go to the Weather Show on Fridays on Revolt, shit like that. I'm all over the place. Quarantine Studios. You need some services, holla at us. We're around. You heard?
Love, bro. I appreciate you.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, man.
Check out this clip from episode 5 of the Red Nomads podcast featuring Shaquille O'Neal.
And I love Corey to death, but Corey shouldn't have signed with them people. And them people, they did a record with him. The record was hot. Them people should have put him on right then. You should have put them on right then. And some people, when you talk about the team, they the whole team. But you already know, Jim, when I'm with you, everybody eat, B. Everybody eat, B. So if the people he was with had that mentality, and they used to be like, they started off with what Birdman, Baby, like they had a crew. So I'm still not understanding, because I don't give a fuck who it is. Ain't nobody spitting like Corey Guns. And I put all 10 of my houses, all 40 of my cars, all 2 of my plane, all 2 of my yacht on that. I put Corey up against anybody, dead or alive. And I'm talking Jay-Z, all them people too. Yes, I will.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Rare Nomads. Please make sure you follow us on all our social media platforms. It's Rare Nomads with a K. Make sure you visit our website for exclusive fashion. And to see the video version of this episode, make sure you go to YouTube and type Rare Nomads.